Hey, hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
Can I just get your name
Je-
and where you from?
Jessica Horn, and where am I from?
Mm-hmm.
Ingleside,
Ingleside. So what neighborhood is that here?
Chatham,
Okay, okay. How long have you lived in Chicago?
all my life.
All my life. Okay, I'm there. So just have a few questions about you and your community or like neighborhood. You can really just answer them, I guess. What role do you play in your community?
I really don't play an effective role. I just live there. I don't. Sadly, I don't help out, or like if I help out, like if somebody needs help going up the stairs with their grocery or something like that, I will help out. But like other than that, I don't have any effective role to help it in any way.
So what do you mean by effective?
Like make a change for it. Like if it's like a real horrible neighborhood or like a horrible community, I'll like probably me and my family will help out in some type of way to make it better for people to live in there.
I mean, but like you said, you help out, like, do little small things.
hmm
Why is that not effective to you?
I mean it's effective, but like people can it can small things can lead to bigger things, but in my case, this neighborhood that I live in probably needs a bigger change.
Okay, so what is your definition of a community?
A place where different people or different organisms live in.
Okay, so you do agree that you count your neighborhood, like where you live, as your community?
Yes.
Good. Um, how have you been impacted by your community?
Yes. Recently, um, it was a shooting across the street from where I live, and so we had to go through like the alley to get into my house, and then my brother was also out like towards my house, and so he was very frightened, which caused like a lot of not a lot of trauma, but like it was very effective towards me and my family to know that if we wasn't gone in the time that we would have been in that scenario.
Do you think it'd be different in another neighborhood? Like if you live, let's just say in like Country Club Hills or something?
Yeah, I would think um, my lifestyle or how me and my family live, it wouldn't be different, but like financial wise or like house wise, it would probably be better and like not worn down, or you probably see buildings that wasn't abandoned, and you probably see like less people on the streets or on the corners.
So how do you see your community? Like, is it overall negative or
It's
neutral?
it's a neutral place. It's just viewed bad, not as bad like as Inglewood, but it's still um, a basket case.
Basket case, explain.
Like there will be like some crackheads or some drug dealers on the corner just selling, and also like it was another scenario where this dude was running and cops were chasing after him. It could like that could be better for my community, and so I feel like if I live somewhere up north or something, that it'd probably be like less traumatizing.
Okay, okay. So you think it's a neutral neighborhood with like some negative aspects or events.
Yes.
Okay, understandable. How do you think your community is viewed by others? You just kind of tapped on it.
Yeah, it's a neutral place. It's not as bad as Inglewood, but it's not as good as some other places up north. So it's kind of like in between the scales.
Mm-hmm. Well, why do you think that? Well, you just kind of you explained it why you're doing that, so it's fine. Do you think this is fair or wrong or whatnot?
I mean, it's somewhat fair. It's again, it's not a bad place, so nobody's viewing it as a horrible place to live, and you shouldn't be there if you just want to go to the store. But it's not a good place. Like people saying, oh, you should go to Chatham because they do all these wonderful things. It's just like a neutral place.
Do you want to change like how it's viewed?
Um, of course, I always want to change how my community is viewed or how I'm viewed because every place or person could be better or is better, and people are just not viewing it as that.
Right, right. So that was good. That was good. Well, how?
How what?
How would you what would you
Well,
do to change?
first I would get like everybody in my community to do something about like what's wrong. Like if we know that there's a lot of crime on our street, we should probably like put up like security cameras to catch like the crimes like in action.
Like a neighborhood watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
To like do something like that.
That's good. This question is kind of long, but okay. So it says all cities have to deal with issues like violence. How does the issue of violence in Chicago compare to other major cities?
There really isn't much difference in it because again, it's just a city with violence and like there's probably some violence going on in New York right now that's not really getting as viewed as much as the ones in Chicago.
I agree. I think it's just more mainstream here.
Yeah, because we're known for having so much violence, so people just take it to like an upper scale.
Okay, so what are the top 3 issues you would like to address with your community?
Potholes, not catching like the crimes in action, like you know the security cameras and the violence. Like it could be like I mean it has dropped tremendously, but it could be better though.
Okay, so you said potholes, violence, and
Crimes in action.
crimes in action. Okay, so I really think you should go somewhere with this neighborhood watch idea. If you were in charge of the media, what would you show?
I will show the good and the bad. Because again, like no place or nobody is perfect, so you have to show like the good side just to make sure people know that there is good in this place or person, and the bad part is again we're not perfect, we're trying. So I think that it's not just like oh we should show the good aspect because they only show the negative aspect because you know if we show the bad aspect people will see that oh this is happening we gotta change it. So that's why I see we gotta show the good and the bad.
That's good. I felt that. How do you see Chicago in the future?
In the future, I mean, it could be a little bit better because the crime rate is dropping a little bit, and I've heard that there was the crimes and whatever's happening now and violence was less of like effective or less something than like 20 years ago. Like I heard that it was worse than now. So I feel like we're slowly getting there.
Okay, so you said a little bit better. Can you rate how bad you think Chicago is, quote unquote bad, on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being the best, and then
You
10
talking
being
about
the
rate
worst.
them now or like a few years?
Rate them now.
Oh, they're like a 6 or 7.
So closer to bad than it is to good. Okay. Do you have any questions you would like to ask the people in your community, like want to bring up?
Yes. Why don't we just like stop selling drugs like on the corners? Like we know what drugs can do to you. You know what can happen to your families or towards you. So why sell drugs or yeah, that's it.
And so why sell drugs? Okay, me personally, because I used to live on 63rd and Ingleside. That's right down the street from Cottage. So I used to see this like all the time. And I asked somebody this, and they said selling weed and crack and whatnot, a quick way for a black man to make some
Cash.
a lot of money. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But maybe we could ask a follow-up question to that. Well, like, what can we do to replace that?
Oh yeah, like an actual job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any other like thing you would like to say? Like, you have any extra notes or comments, suggestions, complaints?
No, I think that's all.
Do you have anything you want to ask me?
You're a very good interviewer.
Oh, stop it. Do you think it was success? Oh wait, no, I say me. Do I think it was successful? Yeah, I think it was successful. Alright, we doing Miss Tune.
Bet.